Well, good afternoon. My name is Kerry McCarthy. I'm the Executive Director of the Ohio Mayor's Alliance. We are here today to talk about the importance of the bipartisan infrastructure compromise proposed last week. And I will say just a couple house cleaning items before I kick it over to Mayor Mern from Findlay. If you have questions at the end, we will field those as they come. You can use the chat function or you can raise your hand. And we will call on folks individually and allow time for questions. Please mute yourself while we're going through the opening remarks, and then we will open up the floor once we get to the Q&A. But thank you again for joining us today. And with that, I will turn it over to Findlay Mayor Christina Mern to start us off.
Well, good morning. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. As Kerry said, we have a number of my colleagues here today to talk about the bipartisan framework that was proposed by the White House and a bipartisan group of senators just last week. With me today, I have Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley, Lancaster Mayor David Scheffler, Youngstown Mayor Tito Brown, and Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan. So thank you for joining us today. Certainly, as representatives of the Ohio Mayor's Alliance, which is a bipartisan coalition of mayors from the state's top populous communities, we want to talk about the importance of this infrastructure bill on our communities and within the state of Ohio. This is a bipartisan compromise on what we know to be an important next step in our country's recovery, but also important catalytic investments into our people and state through this investment. $1.2 trillion over the next 8 years is extremely important to maintain our infrastructure for economic recovery, but also for the safety and security of our citizens. So we know that as mayors, we need to work together. And it's great to start saying that in Washington. We know that when Republicans and Democrats come together, we get better results. We hear more voices and we're better able to address our country's needs. With that, we would love to hand it over to Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley to talk a little bit about Ohio's needs.
Thanks, Mayor Murren. I'm Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley and President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and glad to be here with my fellow Ohio mayors, this bipartisan effort to pass a much needed infrastructure bill. So look, we know that there are infrastructure needs in every corner of this country. Those on this call certainly know that Ohio in particular has needed for some time now an investment in fixing our crumbling infrastructure and to take steps towards preparing for our economic future. In Ohio, we hope this bill will invest in roads and bridges, but also bring us up to standards for public transit and passenger rails to connect all our great cities and great residents to one another. This bill will also make important investments in the future of transportation by investing in EV infrastructure and establishing high-speed internet connectivity for all residents of the state, building a more sustainable, resilient, and just economy for Ohio. As Mayor Murren said, this bill is from COVID-19, but it is also an investment in our long-term economic vitality. Not only does Ohio need an infrastructure upgrade, but it also needs the jobs, the good paying jobs that this bill will provide as a job creator, and will create thousands of those for Ohioans, further invigorating our local economies. Now, one of the jokes that mayors across the country say is that we have been in infrastructure week for about 4 or plus years. What we really want is this bipartisan bill to pass, so we can celebrate by the investment in our communities, upgrade the much needed infrastructure that we see in our communities, and create good paying jobs all across Ohio in our cities. And now I'm going to turn it over to, as I like to affectionately call him, the king of the Mahoning Valley, the mayor of Youngstown, Tito Brown.
Thank you, Mayor Whaley, Madam President, for your leadership and your dedication to this community as well as to the state of Ohio. For many of us, this is physical infrastructure is vital. Ohio cities, like places like Youngstown, we help build this country. This investment is crucial. Nearly 5,000 miles of Ohio roads are in need of repair and 1,300 bridges. Many of our entitlement cities have received our American Rescue Plan dollars and look forward to putting those dollars to work for our residents. But as important note, this money cannot be used for traditional infrastructure leaving a big gap in rebuilding and recovery for our local economies. We strongly urge that no money that has been allocated to help our communities address the health, the public safety, and the economy of the impact of COVID-19 be clawed back to help pay for this bill. By improving our infrastructure, we are also preparing Ohio to be competitive for new and expanding jobs. We look forward to working with our congressional members on this bill. We also look forward to ensuring that local perspectives are heard and our negotiations continue. And now I'll turn it over to Mayor Scheffler.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. I'm from Lancaster, Ohio. As a member of the Ohio Mayors Alliance, the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and the mayors on this call today, I know things get done when we come together, Republicans and Democrats, for a common goal, working together to find a solution. I would like to echo Mayor Murren's sentiments to thank Senator Portman for working on the behalf of Ohioans and with colleagues in the White House to craft a more comprehensive piece of legislation. We believe as a group, this infrastructure plan is comprehensive and will help to address the needs we have here in Ohio. We urge bipartisan congressional delegation to support the infrastructure deal and continue conversation and collaboration with their colleagues to get this bill passed. We must get this done for Ohioans. And now I'll turn it over to Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan.
Well, thank you, Mayor Scheffler, and I am Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan. Thanks for joining us all today. Obviously, this bill is a commitment to our future, but also our children's future, and we have to maintain and improve expand our public infrastructure to create an equitable economic future. This money is a reinvestment in every one of us. We all use our roads, our highways, and our transit, and in the near future, we will all benefit from the green infrastructure that this bill will build and expand. We have much more work to do on these issues, but this bill is a very good start. Many administrations have talked about doing this. In fact, they've been talking about doing this for probably 30 or 40 years. I'd say we're not in Infrastructure Week for 4 years. We've been in Infrastructure Week for decades. But we're all thrilled to see a more concrete plan in place, and we have to secure this time around that it gets done and gets done quickly. We will be talking to all of our congressional members, our senators, and our congressional leadership to express our support and urge their support of this bill. It's long past time to invest in America's future. Thank you.